Good evening and welcome to Honeoye Falls, New York, where tonight we have Section 5 Class B between the 3-seeded Batavia Blue Devils and the 2-seeded Honeoye Falls-Lima Cougars. I'm Peter Carosa, joined by Steve Bradley for tonight's broadcast. Steve, welcome to the booth.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm excited, Peter, that we've had this matchup a couple of times. We had it week 3 of the season, a 21-14 victory by Honeoye Falls-Lima, and now we see both these teams again. They've been very hotly contested rivals over the past few years, and a berth in the Section 5 Class B championship game next weekend at Brockport State is on the line.
And that's a perfect introduction to the Section 5 Class B bracket. Circle that semifinal at the center bottom of your screen. HFL versus Batavia. Tomorrow will be 1-seeded Monroe versus 4-seeded Wayne Central over at Monroe. And as you said, Steve, the winner of those two semifinals will meet next weekend at SUNY Brockport for the Class B sectional championship.
And, Peter, these are really the last three Class B champions. Honeoye Falls-Lima won in 2021, and Batavia has won the last 2 years. And when I say 2021, it was the spring of 21, the fall season. Batavia won in the fall of 21, and also last year on a last-second pass against Monroe.
So as you mentioned, this is a Week 3 rematch. So before tonight's game, we'll queue up the highlights from that Week 3 match and give our viewers a recall of what happened when the last time these two teams played each other. And it was Mekhi Fortes on the first play for Batavia, taking it all the way to the house.
Yeah, the HFL defense had given up a touchdown on the first play the week before against Monroe. Same thing here, but the response from the Cougars throughout the rest of the night was pretty good. Matt Meacham gives a little shoulder shake, finds Andrew Wanzenreid, who missed the first 2 games of the season, for the touchdown to tie things at 7.
And then it was Batavia taking back the lead. Bronx Buchholz finding Cole Grazioplene on the fade ball.
Yep, and HFL comes back. Conor Finn on the short run, making it 14-14 at the half. So we go to halftime tied, and in the fourth quarter, about midway through, there it is again, Meacham to Wanzenreid to give the Cougars the lead.
And that was the only point scored in the second half, as on the 4th and 11 in the final minute, it was an incomplete pass by Batavia. HFL was able to take the knee, and they held on to win 21-14. So as we mentioned, that was the Week 3 matchup between Batavia and HFL. Rematch tonight. A couple weeks later, that's a nice segue into tonight's Keys to the Game, brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. The key for both teams tonight, limit the big plays. You know, watching those highlights, definitely that first home run play for Batavia impacted the first half, gave Batavia the early lead. And tonight, talking with both coaches, they stressed the importance of limiting those home run plays.
Absolutely. They want to make the opponent earn everything that they get going down the field. HFL has done a good job of limiting those big plays, of course, across the rest of the season. And so is Batavia. Batavia's coming off, Peter, a 44-6 win over Geneva in their quarterfinal round. And the Cougars last week had a big win, I believe it was 42-14 over Dansville Wayland Cockton. And I just jumped ahead to number 3, didn't I? I gave 1 and 3 in the same one, responding to adversity. And that being a playoff game, everything is magnified, whether it's a positive or a negative. And really, I think both coaches wanted to stress that things will happen to their teams throughout the course of the game. It's not necessarily what happens, it's what they do to respond to it.
So with that, we are just a couple minutes away from kickoff here at James Dollard Athletic Stadium. We're still awaiting both teams to be introduced. Batavia will be coming out of the north end zone, and HFL will be coming out of the south end zone. Temperatures
very seasonable, very nice. It's November, Peter, and it's almost 60 degrees. You can't ask for a better evening.
Some of the Section 5 soccer contests earlier this week had to deal with snow, and we've gotten lucky tonight and certainly last week with autumn, early autumn-like weather rather than what we saw earlier this week. Both teams, like I mentioned, about ready to come out to the two crowds here. We have a good showing both by the visiting Batavia Blue Devils and the home HFL Cougar fans, as here come the Blue Devils, head coached by Alex Veltz, Batavia grad, class of 05. He's in his first season, taken over the program after Brennan Briggs stepped away in the offseason. He was a longtime OC under Briggs.
And Coach Veltz has learned a lot, he said, this season stepping into that chair. A lot of the things he did before were trying to make Coach Briggs happy and make the players happy. Now he's the guy everybody's trying to make happy.
And you mentioned earlier that both of these teams recently won sectional championships. Batavia has been really the standard for Class B as here comes HFL.
Yeah, Batavia has won 6 times since 2014, and that was really the Coach Briggs era. Coincidentally, they hadn't won since 1991 until they won in 2014, so there was a 23-year drought, and then these last 9 seasons, Batavia has been in the conversation almost every year.
And it was HFL who ended a drought of their own a few seasons ago when they won their first ever sectional championship in
beating
football.
Batavia on this very field. So a lot of history here, and we showed the highlight package. Well done by you. But the last 2 times these 2 teams have met on this field, Peter, in the final minute, Cole Grazioplene for Batavia, number 6, has been involved in a play in that south end zone that's determined the game. One time it went Batavia's way. The last time it went HFL's way.
So head coach for HFL, John Russ, class of 02. He's in his 12th season here at the helm for the Cougars. Looking to get back to their, I believe it would be their 4th sectional final in 5 years.
Every year but last season, from 2019 on.
So we will have the national anthem performed here at the stadium, and we will air a pre-recorded version by the Honeoye Falls-Lima Select Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And with that, we are ready for the coin toss here at HFL. We'll have the captains meet at the Cougar head logo at midfield. For the Cougars, we'll have Matt Meacham, Ben Cook, Andrew Wanzenreid, and Austin Kriego.
Then for Batavia, we've got number 10, that's Mekhi Fortes. Number 6, Cole Grazioplene. Number 52, that's Brian Calderon. And number 6, Cole Grazioplene. The officials tonight, Peter, our referee in the white hat is Bob Lockhart. Our umpire is Ken Torcha. The linesman is Ricky Orlop. The line judge is Mark Mazzotti. And the back judge is Tony Henton.
So Batavia, in their visiting white uniforms, they will have the call of the toss, as there's the flip. HFL has won the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half, so the Cougars will be kicking off to the Blue Devils. Blue Devils, I believe, started with the ball in that first game, jumped out to the early lead.
And HFL is going to be kicking in that same direction that they did on September 15th. So A lot of similarities. In the last 3 games we've seen the Cougars, they have won the toss and deferred. So Coach Russ, being a defensive coach, likes to get his defense on the field right at the beginning of the game, try to force the other team off, and then double down at the end of the second half, starting the third quarter.
So this opening kickoff brought to you by Alexander Enterprises, who specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120.
And Peter, before we get started, the one key to the game we probably should have discussed a little bit more was that second key, and that's just winning the point of attack. Both coaches really felt that second game started to go HFL's way when the Cougars started to control the line of scrimmage. So I know it's been a point of emphasis with Batavia, not just this week, but in the weeks leading up to this game, to do a better job with their technique on the line to try and control. And it's been a point of emphasis for the Cougars as well. So that line play is going to be key so the players like Meacham and Buchholz can do their thing.
So Matt Meacham has it teed up. There's the whistle. And away we go. High end over end kick. Going to be fielded by Batavia. No, it's initially muffed and then recovered. This is Mekhi Fortes, number 10, for the Blue Devils, who's able to get out to the 32-yard line. That'll give us a chance to look at tonight's defensive player to watch for the HFL Cougars, brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here, and it's junior strong safety Conor Finn. He's had quite a season this year. That includes 5 interceptions, 1 fumble, and one of those interceptions were returned for a touchdown.
Pick 6 against DWC a couple weeks ago.
So Batavia comes out from the shotgun, a bit of a high snap, handoff to number 24. That's Zaylin Griffin, and he's got a good chunk of yards there on the first down run.
And Griffin in the last several weeks has become more of the feature back, so to speak, for the Blue Devils. Okay, here come the Blue Devils, 2nd and 10. That's not 2nd and 10, 2nd and 1. Good gain there by Griffin. Give us to Fortes on the sweep. He is brought down near the line of scrimmage by a couple of HFL tacklers, number 22, Paul Iacobucci, and number 55, Aaron Fasek.
So it'll bring up 3rd and short here for Batavia.
Nice job there by the Batavia or the HFL defense on that sweep. Fortes couldn't get his shoulders turned toward the line of scrimmage. Fasek with the first hit. Iacobucci there to clean up, setting up the 3rd and short.
Coming into tonight, the Blue Devils have converted in about 36% of their 3rd down opportunities. We'll see if they can convert this one, as we have a design quarterback run by Buchholz, and he's got more than enough. So that'll give Batavia a new set of downs.
Nice hole there for Buchholz to run through. He's actually, Peter, one of 3 Batavia runners with more than 500 yards this season. Zaylin Griffin, number 24, leads with 645. Fortes has 515 and Buchholz 506. Looking at the starting defensive line for the Cougars right there. And now we've got the linebackers and D-backs.
1st and 10 for Batavia. Buchholz to throw. Out to Cole Grazioplene, and he's going to be tripped up in the backfield by Andrew Wanzenreid.
Wanzenreid playing defense this week, Peter, and he makes a good play. HFL has had a lot of success with that short swing pass. Batavia tries, and Wanzenreid wasn't fooled, makes a tackle for the loss. And Wanzenreid and Grazioplene lined up against each other. That probably won't be the last time we see that tonight.
And we'll have more on those 2 players later in tonight's broadcast.
That's foreshadowing. Good job.
So the 4-yard loss on 1st down will set up the Blue Devils at their own 41-yard line, 2nd and 14. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen for the Blue Devils. And we have a pass over the middle to Mekhi Fortes. Fortes inside the 30-yard line. So a little bit of a fake design quarterback run, pop pass. And it's Fortes over the middle.
Good job by Buchholz selling that. Fortes lined up at his tight end position. He's able to scoot behind the linebackers. Buchholz throws it over the top. A big gain for the Blue Devils.
And we talked to both coaches about how they've changed since that Week 3 matchup. And one of the things was Fortes was battling an injury. He's back full tonight. He was the workhorse back when we saw Batavia come to HFL, and now he's worked in more of a tight end role for this Blue Devil offense as we have a big run here by Zaylin Griffin. Ball on the ground. Ball is loose. We have a battle for it at about the 9-yard line, and it looks like Batavia is going to be able to recover it.
Yeah, I think Griffin was able to get it back after losing it there. Another big gain by the Batavia offense. The line doing a good job to start here. And it looked like Wanzenreid is the one that came in, popped that ball loose, and it's a scramble on the ground, and Griffin was fortunate enough to come up with it.
And
looks like it's first and goal, Peter. The yard markers are down.
Andrew Wanzenreid has been battling an injury as well. He hasn't been able to play both ways up until, I believe, tonight, as the Blue Devils have first and goal. Run play to Griffin. Griffin untouched into the end zone. Blue Devils strike first.
Yeah, that was almost too easy for Batavia. They've been isolating Griffin there. They moved Fortes in motion, and Griffin just went straight up the middle for the touchdown. We'll take another look here.
Yeah, great job by the left side of the line there. Number 61, that's Alex Merka, plowing a path for Griffin to the end zone.
Now, Batavia has not been automatic on point afters, and there it is, a bad snap.
And that's intercepted, but in high school football, can't return that for 2, so that's blown dead. Batavia 6, HFL 0. Batavia scores on their opening offensive possession.
Impressive drive by the Blue Devils. And they had a couple scares. They bobbled the opening kickoff. They had a fumble on the play right before the touchdown. They were able to recover both. And then Griffin, a good kick-out block by Fortes, just takes it to the end zone rather easily for a 6-0 lead.
Here's a quick look, and it was the big pop pass to Fortes that really set things up. Batavia had to convert a third and short early, but then pretty much after that it was smooth sailing, positive play after positive play, and then this was the touchdown scamper by Zaylin Griffin.
So that's touchdown number 8 on the season as a running back for Griffin. He came in the game with 645 yards. He averages 8.72 yards per carry.
So the Blue Devils have it teed up. This is Hunter Milan. And here's the kickoff after the Batavia score. Fielded by the Cougars inside their own 10. This is Conor Finn. He's got some green grass in front of him. They do have the kicker as well to stop him, and he's escorted out of bounds inside the 25-yard line of Batavia. Conor Finn with a monumental return for the Cougars.
He catches it inside at about the 7-yard line and really just waits for his blocks. Harrison Hoole with a good block there. Another block downfield by Cam. And now it's an escort for Finn as he gets to the 40. Cole Grazioplene angles him out of bounds. But great starting field position here for HFL.
And tonight's offensive player to watch for the Cougars is senior quarterback Matt Meacham.
Meacham coming off a 5-touchdown pass performance last week against Danville Wayland Cohocton.
So Cougars come out in a doubles formation. Meacham to throw on first down, launches it, and incomplete. Looking in the direction of number 11, Andrew Wanzenreid.
Just a little bit of a miscommunication there, Peter. Meacham threw it behind Wanzenreid. I think he was expecting him to stop, and Wanzenreid went more toward the middle of the field.
The incomplete pass on first down brings up 2nd and 10 for HFL. Deep into Batavia territory. Ben Cook shifts to Meacham's left, and it will be a handoff to Cook. Cook dives over a player, and he's going to be about a yard short of the line to gain, bring up 3rd and maybe a yard.
And I think a lot of people might have thought HFL was going to throw there. They had the 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Batavia only had 2 linebackers in the middle of the field. There was a numbers advantage in the box. HFL with a good job running it, setting themselves up for a 3rd and short.
So 3rd and 1, ball at the 16-yard line. HFL comes out in a 2 running back set. To the left of Matt Meacham is number 33, Patrick Donahoe, coming off of an injury, first game back for the Cougars, and he'll get the carry. And it's Donahoe who falls ahead. He's got a first down. That's brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. HFMP is proud to be celebrating 40 years of commitment to nourishing HFL athletes and their families.
And welcome back, Patrick Donahoe, for the Cougars. As you mentioned, he missed several games, just got the all clear this week. Big situation to get that carry, and he was a key contributor last year. Looks like he's ready to help out tonight.
So Cougars come right back out in that 2 running back set from the shotgun. Meacham collects the snap, hands right back off to Donahoe. Donahoe going to be tackled ahead, fall about at the 10-yard line.
So good gain there, about 3-4 yards for Donahoe. And it's interesting when you look at these 2 teams. Batavia generally uses the run to set up the pass. HFL more frequently uses the pass to set up the run.
HFL sticking with the 2 running back set. Meacham hands off to Cook this time. Cook to the left side, cruises into the end zone, and Ben Cook ties us up at 6-6 with 6:12 to go in the first quarter. Ben Cook, senior running back, that's his 6th touchdown of the season, finding the Meehan Architecture end zone.
And what a fantastic response by the Cougars on that drive, Peter. Started with a long kickoff return by Conor Finn, and then after an incompletion on the first play, 4 straight runs, and the Cougars are in the end zone.
Point after attempt here for the Cougars. This would give them the lead. Here's the snap. Nate Meacham the hold, Matt Meacham the kick, and it's good. The Cougars take the lead 7-6. And we're halfway through.
Yeah, halfway through the first quarter, and looking at that trap play there, got to call out Austin Krigo for a good block to spring Cook. And here we go back and look at that kickoff return. And again, I think the patience by Finn here really helped him get the ball down the field. And the good blocking by his teammates. He got a couple good blocks that let him get going.
So it was, Conor Finn who had the big return. And then Meacham had the incomplete pass on first down. But later it was Ben Cook who took it to the house as the Cougars will kick off. This kickoff brought to you by Alexander Enterprises, who specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120.
Both offenses off to a fast start tonight, Peter. I can't say that we're surprised.
Reminiscent of that spring 2021 championship where it was back and forth in that first half between these 2 teams. What has become a rivalry in recent years, Batavia looking to return the kick here is Cole Grazioplene, and he's going to be escorted down at about the 20-yard line. Take another look at that one.
Drew Angelo on the tackle there for HFL. He's also back off the injury list, making a contribution on special teams. And once Grazioplene started going backwards, it was good news for HFL because there were 3 or 4 tacklers there to bring him down. Forward progress, though, they'll give him outside the 20 to about the 22.
So a balanced attack for Batavia last time out, moved them all the way down the field and set up the Zaylen Griffin touchdown run. We'll see what they do on their second offensive possession as it's a handoff to Griffin, who will pick up about 3 yards there on first down.
Yep, and it looks like Batavia said we had success with this on the first drive. We'll come right back to it. And the move of Fortes to tight end looks like it's been pretty effective for the Blue Devils. He's a big, strong player and good hands as he showed on that pass, and he's able to create some different kinds of mismatches in this new role.
Second and 6 for Batavia. Griffin to Buchholz's right. He'll get the handoff again, and he's going to be tackled after a gain of about 4 yards.
Yeah, 77 with the big pull, the big lineman pulling for Batavia right there. That's Carvel Martino. He's a sophomore. Opened up a little bit of a hole. HFL defense was able to stop Griffin short of the line, so it'll be 3rd and 2. Last time in this situation, Batavia went with the design quarterback run.
Yeah, it was outside linebacker Harrison Houle for HFL making the stop there. So we'll say the ball is at about the 30-yard line inside Batavia territory.
Fortes, the back for Batavia, number 10.
And again, design quarterback run, and this time HFL had him initially in the backfield, but Buchholz kept the legs churning. It's going to be a close spot here.
I think the linesman coming in from the near side of the field is indicating 4th down, but I wouldn't be surprised if Batavia tries to negotiate a measurement here. Oh,
they're saying he's a full yard short, 4th and 1. Batavia with an early decision here as we approach the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. They have the offense still on the field, it appears.
Gutsy play, but I kind of like it. A little bit of Nick Sirianni and the Eagles.
Bronx Buchholz from the gun. Looks like they may just be trying to draw HFL off as we have a timeout taken by Batavia. So they just lined up there, tried to, the old
see if somebody
clap
makes
my
a mistake.
hands, make some noise, see if I can draw the defense offsides, but HFL doesn't move at all, and I imagine they'll come back out and punt from this formation. This timeout brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are set on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left to an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here.
Peter, going back to the regular season finale for the Cougars, 2 block punts that resulted in touchdowns for Cooper Levine. The snap on the point after for Batavia was problematic. Fortes in punt formation, just something to keep an eye on. The other thing to keep an eye on is Fortes as the punter. It's not a lot to gain. I conceivably wouldn't be surprised in some situations if he were to take off and run with it.
Fortes with his, and it is a fake, and he's got the first down and more.
So gutsy call there, and it was Bronx Buchholz, the quarterback, who was the short man in the formation, took the snap, and easy conversion there for Batavia.
There's another look at it, and a great execution by Batavia on the special teams wrinkle there. Will extend this drive, gives them 1st and 10, ball at about the 38-yard line.
And that's a gutsy call by Coach Veltz, but it's a call you make in a playoff game that you expect to be tight all the way. Batavia looking to extend drives and made the play right there.
So after the conversion, it's going to be a handoff to Zaylen Griffin, and in the backfield, number 51, Owen Englert for the Cougars.
Yeah, the Batavia pulled 2 blockers there. Englert just snuck behind him and beat him to the ball carrier. Made a great play for the Cougars.
So it is marked off as a loss of 3 there on 1st down for the Blue Devils.
These teams are settling in, aren't they, Peter?
That they are. As I recall us talking about the chess match that was that Week 3 game between Batavia and HFL, and this one's turning out just as expected as we have another fake quarterback draw play, and we have an incomplete pass looking in the direction of number 80. That's Justin Smith for the Blue Devils.
So that's the second time that Batavia has tried to sell the run into a pass. Buchholz looked like he was almost in the backyard trying to create that play. HFL fans are looking for offensive pass interference. They thought there was contact there with Paul Iacobucci, but no flag on the play, 3rd and 13.
And we'll have to monitor that as the game continues on, if that's the standard that this officiating crew is going to roll with, kind of a let the boys play mentality. So 3rd and long for the Blue Devils, trips to the bottom of the screen as Griffin moves in motion, And it looks like Buchholz to run, and he's going to be wrapped up by Englert in the backfield.
2 good plays on that series by Owen Englert. Once Batavia got the first down, he made the stop on first down to set up the 2nd and long, and then on 3rd down does a good job getting to Buchholz and probably forcing a punt. We say probably because we thought there was going to be a punt last time, and Batavia rolled the dice and converted with a run by Buchholz.
So Buchholz was able to fall forwards for a gain of 1 there on 3rd down to set up 4th and 12. Mekhi Fortes back deep again to punt, and this time it is a punt. Spiraling kick. HFL going to let that one bounce, and this one's taking a favorable Batavia roll inside the 20-yard line before it's downed. So the Cougars will start with it at their own 18-yard line with about 1:46 to go in the first quarter.
So Batavia able to flip the field a little bit here. Nice punt there by Fortes. HFL had the short field to work with the first drive, taking over at the Batavia 25 after a long kickoff return. This time they face a longer field.
And we'll come back and we'll take a look at the rest of that starting lineup for this HFL offense after this play potentially. So 1 running back set. It's Ben Cook. We have pre-snap motion. Going to be a handoff to Cook. And Cook falls forward for about 2 or 3 yards.
Little motion there with Landon Hammond. Some eye candy didn't fool the Blue Devils.
And here's a look at the offensive starting lineup for the HFL Cougars, brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here.
And the backfield, notice Paul Iacobucci, number 22, along with Andrew Wanzenreid, the receivers. HFL plays a lot of receivers. Will probably, by the time this game's over, call a lot of names.
So again, with the pre-snap motion, this time it is handed off to Landon Hammond. Hammond's going to be tackled at about the 26-yard line. It's going to be close for a first down.
Nice job by Hammond keeping the legs moving. Ben Cook's out in front, tries to shield and get a little bit of a block. 3 Batavia defenders get there, including number 80, Smith, Justin Smith.
And we are going to have an official timeout here as the chain gang will march out here as we have an official spot.
Looks like about the 27.5.
We always have to do a little bit of geometry in these sort of situations. Looks like it's going to be real close. And they've got it. HFL gets the first down, brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. The butchers at HFMP will cut your meat to order. It does not get any better than that.
Peter, little surprised that 5 of the 6 HFL plays have been run calls. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Their team that is closer to 50-50 with their play calls. It'll be interesting to see when they start going to the air again.
So new set of downs for the Cougars, 2 running backs in the backfield. Handoff goes to Cook. Cook's going to be met at about the line of scrimmage, trying to churn out 1 yard, but looks like no gain on the play.
Yeah, Sheldon Seiberling, 75 for Batavia, helped move the pile there. And we've got Maggio Buchholz, 44, in on the tackle for Batavia. Good to see him out there tonight. I know that he been nursing an injury. Another player to watch for Batavia at number 25 was a JV call-up midway through the season who's made an impact. That's Lakota. Lakota Maruzek. Yep. Joe Marenko, number 22, is the leading tackler.
And it looks like we've got some motion pre-snap. Going to be an encroachment on the defense. So that'll move the ball 5 yards.
Probably
stops the clock with 3 to go. Not sure if the clock will reset.
He winds the clock, so that'll probably send us into the first quarter break.
So HFL doesn't have to run another play, and that's the first quarter. HFL leading 7-6. We'll take a brief commercial timeout.
Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Fresh breads, donuts, special cakes made every day from scratch. Our butcher still cuts your meats to order. Doesn't get any better than that. Hot pizza, fish fries on Friday. Order your favorite sub right here. Organic foods and healthy choices. Honeoye Falls Falls Marketplace. We're true blue local, uncompromised quality close to home.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Alexander Enterprises. For nearly 30 years, Alexander Enterprises has been one of Rochester's most trusted contractors. They specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give Todd and the folks at Alexander Enterprises a call before you start your next project at 624-9120. Also, Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here. And the Meehan Architecture Sports Update. HFL Cheerleading finished second place in the Fall 2023 Game Day Cheerleading Sectional Tournament at Gates Chile last weekend. And with that, we come out of the break. HFL facing a 2nd and 4. Now going north as we change direction. Start of the second half. Design quarterback run. Matt Meacham spin move over the 40, and that's enough for an HFL first down. Brought to you by HFMP. At HFMP, 7 days of savings means every day you save. Check out their website or circular for details on their daily deep discounted item.
And Meacham's run a little bit more the second half of the season on the design play. We talked a little bit about it last week. There it is again, 2nd and 4. A good time to call that. He had a nice block from Ben Cook, too, to make sure he got that first down.
Yeah, Meacham came into tonight with only 16 rushing attempts, and the bulk of those have been in the last couple weeks. 1st and 10. Handoff, Cook. Cook to midfield and more. That's another HFL first down. Brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Treat yourself tomorrow and every Saturday with a slow-wristed prime rib dinner with all the fixins from HFMP for only $18.99 each.
So we've seen HFL come out and rely on the run pretty heavily here in the first two series, Peter. I think the thing to watch now is what does Batavia do with those linebackers in the middle of the field. Right now they've only had 2 as they're honoring the coverage on the outside. Do they sneak an extra player into the box? Because right now there's only 6, and you've got 25 on the outside who could be a blitzer.
So handoff goes to Donahoe. Donahoe going to be tackled for about a loss of 1 or 2 yards. Looked to be a little bit of confusion in the backfield.
And it looked like Batavia won that play at the line, too. They pushed back on the offensive line of the Cougars and were able to disrupt that play right from the get-go.
We have an injury on the field, number 55, Deshaun Wright. That's the defensive lineman for the Blue Devils. He's able to hop off the field, and he'll be looked at on the bench.
So 2nd and 11, we've got trips to the near side. Andrew Wanzenreid, the sole receiver, to the top of the field. We'll see how this play goes.
So they call it a loss of 1. 2nd and 11, Meacham to throw. Meacham loads up, finds Keaton Yates. Yates being pulled at by Landon Hammond out towards the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and manageable for the Cougars.
Good job by Yates making the catch. He had a touchdown last week. And then you see Hammond there blocking once. Fortes shields the block, gets away. And it's Fortes and Buchholz who finally bring down Yates, but not before he gained a few extra yards after contact, the old YAC.
Cougars 3rd and 3, trips to the top of the screen. Cook to the right of Meacham. And it looks like we might have an automatic first down for the Cougars thanks to the Batavia offensive line. And they are going to march off the 5 yards, so that'll be a first down for the Cougars, of course brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace, true blue local for 40 years.
Second penalty on the Batavia line for offsides. One helped cut a loss into a manageable situation for the Cougars. This one gives HFL a first down.
So the Cougars come right back out in the same trips formation. Cook to the right of Meacham. Meacham to run. And he stood up after gaining about 5 yards. Refuses to go down. Stays on his feet all the way.
Yeah, Cook again. That's a good first down play for Meacham. I got to feel, though, that HFL has been running, that they might be getting ready to take their shot here and looking for the end zone.
We did have a chance to talk with head coach John Russ before tonight's game, and we had asked a little bit about how we were surprised how HFL played last week. they just kind of kept going to the short stuff, and John Russ told us, hey, we're just going to take whatever they give us, and if that means taking the short pass, they'll take it every day of the week. As we have 2nd and 7, and Meacham under duress, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Number 15, Timothy Morrell.
That's Morrell's 4th sack of the season. He had good pressure initially, got home. Also, Kellner on there to clean it up. And talking to Coach Veltz, the first thing that he said to me about HFL, he's like, you can't let Matt Meacham be comfortable. And really, for the first time tonight, that's the first time that they made Meacham uncomfortable back in the pocket. Really didn't have much room to operate or anything he could do.
So Cougars find themselves in a 3rd and very long situation. Ball at the Batavia 41-yard line as Meacham to throw. Still steps up. He's going to run with it. And he's going to pick up about 10 yards. So it'll be 3rd and more manageable, 4th and about 4. So we'll see if the Cougars keep the offense on the field. Another thing head coach John Russ told us about was potentially opting for a field goal.
I think they're maybe 5 yards away from field goal range. I really like that decision by Meacham, though. He really didn't have anything happen in the pass game, so he took what was there from the defense, 10 yards, making it 4th and 4.
So Batavia, 4 down linemen. Meacham looking to maybe try and draw off the Batavia defense, and instead the Cougars elect to take their first timeout of the first half. So this upcoming timeout brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here.
And, Peter, the last couple of times at the top of the screen, we've seen Andrew Wanzenreid matched up with Cole Grazioplene. And those two are really the go-to receivers for their teams. Both have 10 touchdown catches this season, and their numbers are strikingly similar, aren't they?
I think that's a great opportunity to bring up tonight's featured graphic comparison between Cole Grazioplene and Andrew Wanzenreid. And like you said, stats speak for themselves.
And the thing to remember about Wanzenreid, he missed the first 2 games of the season, but he had that 3-touchdown game last week against Danville, Wayland, Cohocton, getting more comfortable. And Coach Veltz couldn't say enough about Cole Grazioplene, about being an easy kid to be around because he's hardworking, polite, respectful, on time, and always gives 100%. He's just the epitome of what this sport and being a high school athlete is about and what we're trying to do. So very high praise from his coach.
4th and 4 for the Cougars. Ben Cook shifts to the left as we have a design quarterback run play to Meacham, and he's got the first down. Brought to you by HFNP. Make every day a little bit more special with the Stonewall Kitchen collection of brands available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace.
So Cougars go on ball control, too, here, Peter. They started at their own 22-yard line on this drive, and they've been able to piece it together piece by piece. I've got them with 5 first downs on this drive.
Cougars doubles receivers on each side. Meacham to throw, lofts one up, looking for Landon Hammond. He's got him. Touchdown, HFL. Cougars now 13 unanswered points. Landon Hammond finding the Meehan Architecture end zone.
Great call by you, Peter. Hammond, Steinhoff goes short. Hammond, the inside receiver, goes to the outside, gets behind the defense. Matt Meacham finds him for the touchdown.
So after Meacham connects with Hammond, Meacham now to try and extend this HFL lead. Low snap, have to be fielded. Meacham has to throw it. And
Play's blown dead. I think that Nate Meacham's knee was on the ground when he touched the ball, forcing that play to be whistled dead.
And I believe we saw something similar last week as here's that Ben Cook run that got the Cougars into Batavia territory.
And then Matt Meacham is going to scramble here.
Sets up the 4th and short for the Cougars. And then it was either Meacham again. Yes, it was Meacham again on the draw on 4th down.
And I like that play. He lowered his shoulders, and Honeoye Buchholz, one of the top tacklers for Batavia. And then here we see a little bit of history. Matt Meacham becomes the first player in HFL history to throw for 50 career touchdowns. Just announced that on the loudspeaker, and that's pretty great accomplishment over the last 2.5 seasons, really.
This kickoff brought to you by Alexander Enterprises. Alexander Enterprises specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120. And Meacham with the squib low kick. And that one's fielded again by Cole Grazioplene. And he'll get up to about the 33-yard line.
It's about a 15-yard return there for the Blue Devils, who are trailing 13-7 here with about 6 minutes to go in the first half. Going back to that HFL touchdown, you had alluded to last week HFL being willing to take the short pass. Looked like they used the short pass to set that up for the touchdown there with Steinhoff.
Yeah, the old HFL staple, fake wide receiver screen, fade ball. So we'll see how Batavia answers the HFL touchdown as they come out with a handful of down linemen and hand off to Zaylin Griffin. And he's going to be tackled by middle linebacker Aaron Fasek for the Cougars.
Good job by Batavia just getting that start on first down, positive gain. Nice block by number 61, Alex Marica.
And again, Batavia comes out. Only 2 wide receivers. They're loading up that offensive line, trying to impose their will on the HFL defense as they go back to Zaylin Griffin, who's going to be tackled in the open field by Landon Hammond, but he'll get enough for the first down.
Yeah, they've got 2 players pulling, 76 and 61. Helps get Griffin to the second level, and a nice tackle by Hammond to make sure he didn't get anything more.
And Griffin is a smaller back, 5'5", 135. But he's become the workhorse of this Blue Devil offense.
Yeah, I think he's more known for his speed, Peter, but he's showing a great degree of toughness tonight, too. And then we got that unbalanced line again.
Grazioplene in motion. Quarterback keep by Buchholz. And Buchholz will be just short of the first down. Pickup of 9.
So this is the adjustment that Batavia's made, going with the more heavy personnel trying to ball control with HFL. So now the chess move comes back to John Rust. What's his move to try and combat this?
So 2nd and short for Batavia. More motion. This time they pitch it to Grazioplene. He's got the edge. He's at the 30 and still on his feet. There's a face mask, and he's escorted out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So a huge run play there by Cole Grazioplene for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, that's an example of just getting your playmakers the ball. Grazioplene, usually known for being on the receiving end of passes. They gave him the pitch, and he had great yardage there, and this face mask will go half the distance to the goal line. We're going to be looking at Batavia 1st and goal at about the 5. So a 41-yard run by Grazioplene. Play started at the 46. So 41-yard play with a penalty.
So the ball is on the inside edge of the 5-yard line. Batavia from the shotgun. Griffin to Buchholz's right. Here's a snap. Handoff goes to Griffin. Griffin is going to be immediately contacted in the backfield by Harrison Hoole, but he does fall ahead for about a yard.
Yep, Batavia just trying
It looks like the ball might have come out there at the end of the play, but Batavia was able to recover.
Yeah, I think more importantly, though, the spot moved back a little bit. The spot is closer to the 3, and it looked like Griffin's body was closer to the 2.
Buchholz over at the sideline trying to get the play call.
And how many big plays in this series have we seen in this end zone, Peter? Looks like we're setting up for another one.
Batavia, 2nd and goal. Handoff again to Griffin. And Griffin's going to be close, waiting for the mark, and there it is. Touchdown, Batavia. So they now have 12 points on the board. They trail HFL by 1, pending the extra point.
And you asked what kind of response would we see from the Blue Devils, and pretty good one. They were able to go 67 yards rather quickly in about 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 59 seconds. And now I'm surprised they're kicking it here. I wouldn't be surprised that they might have a play on here.
Well, here's the point after attempt, and it's good.
So we're tied.
So we're tied at 13 with about 3:27 to go in the second quarter. Both teams putting together touchdown drives.
And Grazioplene right there breaking the tackle and picking up an extra 12 yards to get the ball inside the 10. The penalty takes it inside the 5. Griffin patiently follows his blocks into the end zone. So here we're in one of those situations again with 3:23 left in the half. HFL, this is why you defer, right? You want the ball at the end of the first half, try and score here, and then be the first team to get the ball in the second half. Double down, especially in a tie game. It's a chance to maybe swing it in your favor.
Both teams with 2 timeouts.
And HFL's relied on the run game mostly to this point. I would not be surprised to see them go more tempo pass game here to try to get some points before we get into halftime.
This kickoff brought to you by Alexander Enterprises, who specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120. That's a short kick, live football. And HFL able to jump on that one. Smart play there by Ben Cook. It didn't seem like there was a lot of Cougars with a sense of urgency to jump on that football.
No, I think they were expecting the deep kick. Batavia was actually maybe trying to double down, get that mini onside kick, and then they'd be set up in HFL territory. So Cougars have 63 yards between them and the goal line, 3:26 to go here in the half.
So HFL looks like they might be missing a player as Keaton Yates has to substitute late onto the field. Matt Meacham works to get him the play call.
The back official just put his hand up, so getting late in the play clock, but the Cougars should be okay.
And pre-snap motion is to Landon Hammond. He gets the handoff, and he's going to be tackled over the 40-yard line. So a gain of about 4 or 5 there on first down for HFL.
Yeah, another jet sweep for the Cougars. Ben Cook turns into the lead blocker, pushes Fortes out of the way, gives Hammond some space to cut up, and 2nd and 5. Clock rolling just under 3 minutes.
So Cougars come out now, trips to the top of the screen. Ben Cook motions to Meacham's right, snap. Pass play, Meacham looks, fires over to Hammond, and he's unable to bring it in.
Yeah, things were a little bit off on that play right from the beginning. Little swing pass to Hammond. They had Steinhoff kind of trailing on the shallow cross and just unable to get anything going. 3rd and 5.
Probably would not have been a first down, but maybe 3rd and 2. Incompletion stops the clock, 3rd and 5. Last thing HFL probably wants to do is give Batavia the ball right back. Cook to Meacham's right. Meacham to pass. Looking for Cook. He's going to launch it. And he's got Andrew Wanzenreid for an HFL first down. Brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Start the day off right with IOR Organic Orange Juice on sale every Thursday at HFMP. 52-ounce bottle for only $2.99 each.
And that's the Matt Meacham we've seen a lot over the last 3 years, throwing that ball into a tight window. Slant pattern to Wanzenreid, his first catch of the night. Cougars are in Blue Devil territory at the 40 with about 2:20 to go in the half.
Cougars come back out. Low snap. Meacham able to pick it up. And he'll try and get back to the line of scrimmage, and he's going to end up gaining 1 yard. So Meacham able to make something out of nothing there.
And Sheldon Seiverling might have been responsible for that, the big defensive tackle for Batavia, making life rough in the middle of the line for Honeoye Falls-Lima's Patrick Adair. Cougars lucky to retain possession and actually gain a yard there.
2nd and 9 for HFL. Clock approaching the 90-second mark of the first half. Doubles receivers for the Cougars. Patrick Donahoe checks in at running back for HFL. Meacham to throw. Steps up. He's going to launch it, and he had 2 players there, but it falls incomplete. Stops the clock.
And it looked like Meacham may have had a little bit of room to run toward the sideline. You never fault him for throwing the pass. We've seen him make so many plays over the years. Now 3rd and 9, 1:22 to go.
So Cougars facing 3rd and 9 inside Batavia territory. Ball at about the 39-yard line. Cougars trips to the bottom of the screen. Donahoe checks to Meacham's right. Cougars taking their time. Clock not running. Meacham to throw. Looks. Pump fakes. Launches it up. And incomplete. Looking in the direction of Andrew Wanzenreid.
Good coverage by Cole Grazioplene there. It's a double move. Wanzenreid, Grazioplene not fooled, runs with him right down the far sideline. He's in good position.
And it looks like HFL is bringing the punt unit on the field.
Yeah, 4th and 9 is a little bit too far to line up in a traditional to go for in a tie game when you're going to be getting the ball to start the second half. That being said, Matt Meacham's also your punter.
So clock is stopped, 1:15 in the half. Meacham is about at midfield, collects the snap, kicks it, high kick, end over end. Cougars got to stop it from going in, and a great play there is all for naught, as they say the HFL player was in the end zone when he touched it. So touchback, Batavia gets the ball at the 20-yard line. We'll take another look, so it takes the bounce.
Landon Hammond, clearly in the end zone when he batted that ball back. So Batavia will get the ball on the 20. Great hustle there. Just the big bounce went a little too far, but a good job by Meacham getting that punt off because he had a Batavia player in his face too.
So the Blue Devils will have 1:04 to work with, 2 timeouts. Try and take the lead going into half.
But Griffin's such an explosive player, Peter. I don't think they change what they're doing that much. They just hope that maybe he's able to pop one, either go all the way or get them in better field position to drive down the field.
Here's the pitch play to Griffin to the left side, and he's going to be tackled inbounds at about the 40-yard line, picks up the first down.
20-yard gain, and Fasek had all his hands full just to hold on to Griffin. He got him from behind. Griffin probably would have gone another 5 or 6 yards. And he did grab him by the shoulder pad, not the horse collar.
Batavia does not take a timeout. Clock runs. That pitch play to the far sideline seems to be giving the HFL defense some fits as of late.
Yeah, Griffin in particular.
So 1st and 10. Buchholz to throw. Launches one up. High one. And that's going to be a contested catch that they're saying is hauled in by Cole Grazioplene.
So Batavia got the 20 yards on the first play, decided to take a little bit of a shot. I wasn't sure the ball came out of Buchholz's hand cleanly, but great adjustment by Grazioplene to get inside position, catch the ball with Andrew Wanzenreid right on him. So 32 seconds and 33 yards away from the end zone is Batavia.
Batavia takes their second timeout. Brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer. should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here. And so far, this offensive possession has going as good as it could for Batavia.
20 yards on the
chunk
first
plays.
play, yep, and then now they go another 28 yards on that pass to Grazioplene. So they didn't have a lot of time, just over a minute when they took possession and made a couple plays. Now they're going to attack the end zone and try and take the lead here.
I think they need about one more first down to really be in that comfortable striking distance. Got to try and work the sideline to preserve that final timeout, though.
Right, and look where they're headed. They're headed south to this end zone where we've seen so many big plays in recent years in this series at the end of the half. And HFL, I would not be surprised if they brought a little bit more pressure. Make Buchholz become more of a passer than a runner.
Certainly, though, they probably are keeping a spy on him because he can be dangerous in space.
And Fortes as a tight end is dangerous too.
So the fake pitch, Buchholz to throw, avoids the tackler in the end zone, lofts it up, and it's going to be incomplete. Nearly intercepted. That was Conor Finn, who has produced 5 interceptions for this HFL defense this season. And right on cue, as Steve pointed out, blitz there by HFL, and nice job there by Buchholz to avoid it. And lucky that that one falls harmlessly to the turf. Stops the clock, 24 seconds to go.
No harm there, but that was an exciting play. Steinhoff had good pressure coming off the edge. Buchholz able to avoid it. Conor Finn just unable to reel it in.
Crowd here at HFL trying to get as loud as they can for the hometown Cougars. Meanwhile, on the far sideline, the Batavia visiting fan section quiet as their offense is at work. 2nd and 10. Buchholz to throw. Gets it out to Mekhi Fortes, who is not going to get in bounds. Try to make the extra effort to get out. He's unable to.
And that's a great job by the HFL defender. That's Jacobucci who's able to get him down inbounds and force Batavia to take its final timeout with 13 seconds left.
13 seconds to go. Final timeout by Batavia. This timeout brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left in an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here. And I'm not going to say anything about the amount of time
seconds
left. I forget the technical term for the fear of 13.
Trick, I think it starts with trick, but yeah.
All those years of sitting in Latin you would think would pay off at this moment, but fortunately unable to produce that as Batavia comes out 3rd and 6.
Trichodescophobia, Peter? Is that maybe where we're?
That's close. We got 13-13 with 13 seconds left to go. Ball at the 29-yard line. Buchholz from the gun. Collects the snap to throw. Steps up, fires over the middle, and that's going to be tipped by Aaron Fasek. It'll stop the clock at 8 seconds.
Deep drop there by Fasek. That was an adjustment by the HFL defense just to guard against the play happening over the middle. They were going for Fortes. Fasek in position, was able to knock that ball down, setting up a big 4th down.
8 seconds to go. Ball still at the 29-yard line of HFL. 4th and 6. Batavia probably will hope to take up most of the time here. They don't want to leave anything left on the clock. Going to be hard to pick up a first down on the ground and get out of bounds.
And you wonder if they're
to throw. Steps up, launches towards the end zone, and it's intercepted. Landon Hammond picks it off in the end zone. Clock with 1 second left. 1 second left in the half. I expect HFL probably takes a knee and goes to their locker room here as there's the interception.
Nice job by Hammond to get to the ball and make sure that nobody else could catch it. Thought maybe Batavia would go to Grazioplene at the top of the field. He had a matchup, but deep ball over the middle. HFL escapes at least at the end of the first half. And it looks like we're going to go into halftime the way we started, all tied up.
So Meacham will be under center, and there's the kneel down. And as Steve said, we're all square at 13 here at HFL. We will take a brief commercial timeout.
Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Fresh breads, donuts, special cakes made every day from scratch. Our butcher still cuts your meats to order. Doesn't get any better than that. Hot pizza, fish fries on Friday. Order your favorite sub right here. Organic foods and healthy choices. Honeoye Falls Marketplace. We're true blue, local, uncompromised, quality close to home.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Alexander Enterprises. For nearly 30 years, Alexander Enterprises has been one of Rochester's most trusted contractors. They specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give Todd and the folks at Alexander Enterprises a call before you start your next project at 624-9120. Tonight's brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund. The Bullfinch Fund at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here. And Meehan Architecture. With the Meehan Architecture Sports Update, HFL girls volleyball defeated East High 3-0 last Saturday before losing to Pittsford Sutherland in the semifinal round. Great season this year, ladies. Tonight's game also brought to you by Four Corners Eye Care and Optical. Now celebrating 30 years, Four Corners Eye Care and Optical provides full scope vision and medical eye care, as well as quality optical services in the convenient location of the Four Corners of Honeoye Falls. Dr. Kissick and his staff are proud to call HFL home all these years. Hundreds of local residents, including myself, are proud to call Dr. Kissick their optometrist. Give Dr. Kissick at Four Corners Eye Care and Optical a call at 624-2122. And lastly, tonight's broadcast presented by the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, your local community newspaper since 1989. You can visit their website, mhflsentinel.com, for local community news, and follow along at their social media channels listed there for local news. So we want to thank them so much for giving us the opportunity to call tonight's game, which is in partnership with the Section 5 Broadcast Network. So we're going to take a brief timeout here at HFL. We'll come back with the highlights from the first half and what to expect in the second half at HFL. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be right back. And we are back here live at James Dollard Athletics Stadium on the campus of Honeoye Falls-Lima as the 2-seeded HFL Cougars are tied with the 3-seeded Batavia Blue Devils in the semifinal round of the 2023 Section 5 Class B tournament. We'll take a quick look at the first half highlights.
Batavia's first drive, Peter. Zillion Griffin, 11-yard run, takes it to the end zone, gives the Blue Devils a quick 6-0 lead.
And then it was HFL on the ground. Ben Cook scoring for the Cougars. HFL ended up taking the lead 7-6 on that play.
Then 6:26 remaining in the half. It's Landon Hammond on the receiving end of a 26-yard touchdown pass from Matt Meacham. The kick failed, so it's 13-6 Cougars, 6:26 to go in the half.
And then Zaylen Griffin out from 4 yards, able to break the plane there, which ultimately tied us up. And then a little bonus play right before half, interception in the end zone by Landon Hammond to thwart any sort of Batavia points before the intermission, as we are tied 13-13. HFL will start with the ball in the second half.
So a very big quarter there for Landon Hammond. We saw him 2 big plays there. And we're really right where we were in week 3, right? It was 14-14, I believe, at the half. And then HFL scored the only points in the second half. I think that we probably will see more points in the second half tonight, but I expect it to be a close game all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, and talking with both coaches, they talked about how much they look forward to these sort of games, just because it requires that the adjustments and the chess match that head coach John Russ always is talking about, and how much fun that is. Like, he'd much rather be making the in-game adjustments and, hey, pulling groups of players or individuals over to the sideline and saying, hey, this is what they're doing, this is what we need to do, instead to stop that. And then it's the other team saying, hey, this is what they're doing, or they've done this because we're doing this, so we need to start doing that. And
right, and I think it adds even more flavor to the rivalry. Both coaches are playing for their alma maters, too. So there's always a little bit more pride that, you know, you're doing it for your school that you grew up in and played for. And let's not forget, the winner of this game gets to play for a sectional championship. So the stakes are a little bit higher, but I would expect everything else to be pretty similar.
So we have just about 2 minutes left on the clock here for the halftime period, although, as is usual, they'll add maybe a minute or two onto that to allow for a warm-up period. Batavia has coming out of the locker room first as they are stretching and loosening up for the second half of play. Batavia alone, it appears, as HFL still in the blockhouse in the southern, just beyond the southern end zone.
So the one thing, Peter, it seemed that HFL relied on the run a little bit more in the first half than we're accustomed to. Do you see them going to the pass a little bit more in the second half, or is it going to dictate what the defense gives them, as we've heard?
I think the thing that we were told going in this game was that they were going to take what they're given, and it seems like Batavia has been trying to prevent the deep ball, and they're kind of giving the short stuff, and Meacham's been able to make plays with his legs, and it seemed like there was maybe a play where he forced a pass that if he had just held it, he probably could have gotten close to a first down. So I think the Cougars are going to mostly continue going with what's being given to them. Obviously, if the game flow changes and they find themselves in a situation where they have to rely more on the pass, then we'd likely see that. And
I think the big adjustment for HFL on the defensive side is figuring out a way to slow down Zaylen Griffin, especially when Batavia comes out with 6 or 7 linemen. That seemed to really get the Batavia offense going in the second quarter. So how does HFL respond to that to keep Batavia from grinding out first downs and basically limiting possessions and shortening the game?
And it seems like the way we're headed, now we still have a whole half to play, but we're headed in the direction where it might come down to whoever has the ball last.
In some form or fashion, and that's not new in this rivalry. Even thinking back to the fall of 2021 when we were in Batavia for that great game between the Cougars and the Blue Devils, where J.T. Kellenbeck knocked a pass away in the end zone to preserve the victory, and then The last time they played, Conor Finn, and last year during the regular season, Batavia, trying to run out the clock, has a 4th down from midfield, throws a long pass that Cole Grazioplene catches for the clinching touchdown. Always seems to come down to the end.
And I believe in that the last time these two teams played in the sectional championship, it came down to an offensive possession of the Cougars running the same play on 3rd and 4th down, unable to score when they were in the red zone, and Batavia held on to win the sectional championship that year.
And Batavia also benefited from one of the more bizarre plays that we've ever seen, when it looked like they were going to punt and they were in a lot of trouble and ended up getting a long touchdown pass out of it. So many big plays and so much history. And as you predicted, another 2:25 on the clock. That'll help the Cougars get loose and get ready to start the second half.
And I think that's what both coaches are probably talking about in their respective locker rooms during the halftime intermission, is talking about the historical rivalry as of late and maybe reminding the players, hey, it's going to take someone to step up and make a play. Who's going to make the play that's going to set them up to win the semifinal and move on to the championship game?
Right, who's going to be the difference maker? And a lot of times it's somebody that you don't necessarily anticipate. It may be somebody stepping in and recovering a fumble, blocking a punt, running back an interception. It's not always the normal cast of characters.
So we are about a minute 40 away from the second half kickoff. Batavia will be kicking off to HFL. The last time they did kick, they went with the kind of pooch kick that it didn't seem like HFL was prepared for. Ben Cook was able to fall on it.
Yeah, that was almost like the onside kick. You know, it's like, okay, if you're not going to cover it, we'll take it and we'll get the ball at the 30 and move forward.
And so do you think who took more risk in the first half?
I would think Batavia. I think that the gutsy 4th down fake punt, early possession that allowed them to sustain a drive inside their own 30. I think HFL played it pretty close to the vest and did what they needed to do. But we also know that John Russ probably has a couple of tricks up that sleeve.
Probably waiting until when it's late in the second half and they've got to show what they've got in their bag of tricks.
Right. Save it till you need it.
We haven't seen any sort of wildcat.
No wildcat. Probably a little bit more designed run for Matt Meacham than we expected, but it was effective, so why stop doing it until the defense can show that they can stop it?
We'll see if Batavia goes back with the designed quarterback runs that kind of set up that pop pass that worked so well on their opening drive.
Yeah, that was a really nice play call when they got Fortes behind the defense there, and they tried to run it again. HFL was ready for it, so we'll see how many times that works.
And having Mekhi Fortes in the tight end position, we talked about. You brought it up earlier in the game, but just how much that has paid dividends for Batavia so far. As we are ready for the kickoff here to start the second half, brought to you by Alexander Enterprises, who specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120. And a special teams mistake there by Batavia, kickoff out of bounds. That'll give HFL very good starting field position here to start the second half.
You wonder, too, about these kicks. Conor Finn had that fantastic return after the first Batavia touchdown, that maybe that some of this has been designed to keep the ball away from him. And they're going to have a re-kick.
Something you don't see too often, but I think that goes to the confidence the Cougars have in their return game, and we saw the monster return by Finn in the first half. They forced Batavia to kick it off again. But they have to move back 5 yards. So the 5-yard penalty is accepted by the Cougars.
And that'll put Finn and Yates, the deep returners for HFL, at about their 20-yard line.
So let's try this again. Here's the kick, line drive, And away we go. This is fielded by Finn to the near side, up past the 40 to the 45, and then out of bounds. So Cougars just outside of midfield to start in the second half.
Good starting field position for HFL, and usually you expect a team on a penalty on a kickoff to start about the 40. HFL gains a little bit of real estate. It'll start at its 45.
So the Cougar the ball was initially spotted at the 50.
I think that's an incorrect spot.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be at the 45. So good catch there by the sideline judge to correct the spot. Cougars 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Trips to the far side. Meacham from the gun. Ben Cook behind him. Cook then shifts to Meacham's left. Handoff goes to Cook. Cook is going to be strung out and get back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play.
Yeah, 3 or 4 Batavia tacklers on him. First one there was number 44, Honeoye Buchholz. HFL started the game with a similar play and gained 9 yards. Batavia was ready for it that time.
So 2nd and 10 now for HFL. Trips to the near side.
Batavia was 7 in the box. That might open things up for the HFL passing game.
Here's Meacham to throw, and throws it short in the direction of Steinhoff, and it was a little bit too high for him.
But the pocket was there and the time was there. Just a little bit of a misfire on the pass.
So on the Cougars' first offensive possession of the second half, they are facing a 3rd and 10 situation from their own 45-yard line as Meacham goes to the huddle with the play.
This is one of those situations where Batavia doesn't want to let Matt Meacham get comfortable. So are they going to bring a little bit of extra pressure and force that quicker throw?
They show only 3 down linemen. They only bring 3. Meacham to throw. Lofts one over the middle, and that's going to be intercepted by Batavia. And that's number 1, Carter Mullen, who intercepts Meacham's pass.
Good call by you there, Peter, with just the 3-man rush. Batavia dropped more into coverage, disguised things a little bit. Meacham was looking for the deep in route, and Mullen had a good read, stepped in front of Hammond, and made the interception.
Keaton Yates with the tackle. Batavia will take over at their own 37-yard line.
So each team now with 1 turnover. And the Batavia defense with a strong message here at the start of the second half.
Blue Devils desperately seeking to get points off the turnover here. 1st and 10. Handoff to Griffin. Griffin is going to fight and get about 4.
Even when it looks like Griffin is stopped for a short gain, Peter, he has that ability to fall forward and get a couple of extra yards. That was a good job by him. Hool contacted him at about 35, and he still fell forward, although the spot, maybe his knee was down because the spot is not where I thought the ball was going to be.
Yeah, it looked like he was able to slip ahead to the 40, but they say he only picked up 1 there. So 2nd and 9 for the Blue Devils. Cougars with 5 down linemen. Here's a quarterback draw. Buchholz is going to be stood up at the 40.
In this game that started with 2 touchdowns on the first 2 offensive possessions, it's turning into a defensive struggle. Good job there by Fasek on the bottom, and then Steinhoff comes across the top to knock Buchholz to the ground.
So 3rd and 7 for the Blue Devils. See if they can keep the drive alive that was set up by the Mullen interception. Batavia, 2 wide receivers set. 7 down linemen. And pitch play to the near sideline. And a couple of slippery moves there by Zaylin Griffin is going to result in him being about a yard short.
Ben Cook did a good job setting the edge for HFL. Key to that play was that Griffin made a tackler miss at the 40 and was able to get 5 extra yards. 4th and 1.
A long one, too, might I add.
And it looks like the offense is there. We'll look at the formation they come out on, but it looks like Batavia might line up to go for this.
And they went with a quarterback draw the last time they had a 4th and short. See if HFL puts another down lineman. No, they're running like 4 linebackers in the box. And it's a handoff to Griffin, and Griffin past midfield. Running room in front of him, and this one's going to be a house call for Zaylin Griffin on 4th and 1. Goes the distance.
54 yards, Peter. You see that a lot of times on 4th and short. Cougars kind of had a lot of people in the box. Griffin got to the second level, and then you see the speed. There was no catching him. Batavia with the first points here in the second half.
So the all-important point after attempt now for Batavia. We've seen both teams fail to convert a PAT in the first half. Batavia trying to make this a 7-point lead. Kick is up, and kick is good. Batavia 20, HFL 13. 8:51 to go in the third quarter. We'll take another look at the interception by Meacham. Thrown by Meacham, collected there by Carter Mullen, and that would set up the 51-yard touchdown run by Zaylin Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin just had a seam, and once he was through, all the Cougars could do was chase. Big night for him. I believe he had about 70 yards at halftime, 54-yard run there. He's well over 100.
This upcoming kickoff brought to you by Alexander Enterprises. Alexander Enterprises specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120.
So we get back to key number 3, respond to adversity. HFL with the early turnover, gives up the touchdown. It's a big drive here for the Cougars.
Ball teed up, ready to go. And here's the kick deep. Going to be fielded by Yates. Yates working to the near sideline. And Yates is going to be wrapped up and tossed out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
That's Fortes. We've been calling his name all night long and have to give him a lot of credit. He's been in on a lot of plays, even special teams, going hard. We know that he missed a game a couple weeks ago with an injury, but he's giving everything he has tonight, makes another big play.
So the Cougars will set up 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. We'll see if HFL changes anything from an offensive strategy standpoint. Meacham barking out what appears to be an audible. Handoff goes to Finn. Finn tries to make the first man miss, and he's going to fall at about the line of scrimmage.
So that's the second time the Cougars have had a possession here in the second half. Second time the Cougars have started with the run, and the second time that Maggio Buchholz has been there to limit the gain to less than a yard. So Batavia has certainly adjusted to the run game that HFL was being very successful with in the first half.
2nd and 10 for HFL. Snap. Meacham to pass. And he reverses field. Keeps his eyes downfield. Lofts one up. And that's just out of bounds.
Good job extending the play by Meacham. Buchholz came on the blitz. Ran past the HFL offensive line. Slipped when he tried to make the tackle. Gave Meacham a little bit of space. Matt said, let's just reset this and try it again on 3rd down.
So the Cougars once again facing 3rd and 10 in this second half.
So I know it's early here in the third quarter, just under 8 minutes to play, but I think this is a key 3rd down here for HFL.
Ben Cook shifts to Meacham's right. Here's the snap. Meacham to throw, looking. Steps up, lofts it over the middle. He's got a man. It's Keaton Yates on the near sideline. Makes a first man miss, and then he's clobbered and tackled at the 20-yard line.
But what a play for the Cougars. It's exactly what they needed. Meacham goes to his second read. Yates finds spot in the Batavia defense, running alone. and he's able to make the first tackler miss, get down to the 20-yard line, and look at the hustle by Honeoye Buchholz to get all the way down the field and make that tackle. One play he's in the backfield, the next play he's 30 yards downfield.
So that HFL first down brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. HFMP bakes sub rolls from scratch to make every bite of an HFMP submarine sandwich bursting with flavor. Jet sweep to Landon Hammond to the far sideline. Hammond cuts it up. He'll get about 5 yards there on first down, bring up 2nd and 5.
Going back to that pass, Peter, you really have to appreciate the poise of Matt Meacham. 3rd and 10, big conversion needed, and he's able to find the man and get the first down. Keaton Yates, the junior 5'10", 160-pound wide receiver, came up big. And
Yates was somebody at the beginning of the season who was off our radar. You know, the talk had been, obviously, Wanzenreid as being the favorite target, but there's been a couple guys who have really stepped up this year. Hammond coming into tonight with 28 catches, Keaton Yates with 10, Steinhoff with 16. So there's been other playmakers around there. Conor Finn, who's been a utility player for HFL. Need someone to step up here as Meacham with the design quarterback keep, and he gets hit hard.
Yeah, Batavia won the line of scrimmage right there, had 3 or 4 tacklers there, and were able to clog those lanes. Nothing happening with that designed run. And in some ways, the injury to Wanzenreid in the first 2 games may actually be helping the Cougars now because those other players had to play key situations, and now late in the season they're more comfortable with it. But 3rd and 5, here we go again. Wanzenreid at the top, matched up on Grazioplene.
We'll call it 3rd and 6. 6 to go in the 3rd quarter. Meacham steps back to throw, fires high pass all alone, and I believe that's Keaton Yates. Yes, it is. Yates finds the Meehan Architecture end zone, and Cougars are 1 point away from tying this one back up. Let's take a look at the replay. What happened to the defenders there?
They all stayed in the middle of the field. Yates broke to the corner. Meacham picked that up, and it was there. HFL had trips to that side, and Yates got lost in the laundry and was able to reel it in for the touchdown.
So here's the point after. Nate Meacham will be the holder and Matt Meacham the kicker. Here's the snap, high, kick, line drive, and it's good.
Oh, fortunate recovery for the Cougars right there. Low snap. Nice job by Nate Meacham getting it down. Matt Meacham adjusts. The kick wasn't picture perfect, but it was through the uprights, and that's what the Cougars needed to tie the game.
And that's all the score sheet will show, as we are all square again at 20. 5:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. Meacham steps up on that drive there.
In more ways than one. He stepped up with his arm and he stepped up with his leg. But this pass here is why Matt Meacham is special. 3rd and 10, has the patience, finds Yates all alone. And what a game Yates is having. 2 huge catches on that drive, 2 touchdown catches. No, Hammond's got the other one tonight. First touchdown catch tonight, but 2 huge catches on that drive. And all he's got to do there is make sure that he cradles it and crosses the goal line. Sometimes that's a tougher play.
This upcoming kickoff brought to you by Alexander Enterprises, who specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120.
You know, if Keaton keeps doing that, he's going to take his older brother's nickname.
As here's a deep kick fielded by Fortes. And Fortes down at the 20. Now here's the difference between the Yates brothers. Big play Nolan Yates was making plays on defense. Keaton Yates making the offensive plays tonight.
Absolutely. So really, we played half a quarter, and we're where we've been all night. These 2 teams locked even, waiting for the next team to put their flag in the ground and make a stand.
And Batavia has had a lot of success running the ball with the extra down linemen.
They've got 7 across the front again on that unbalanced line.
And here's the pitch play to the far sideline. And it's going to be about an 8-yard pickup. So not what Batavia has been accustomed to. That's been a guaranteed first down, it seems like, tonight for them.
But 8 yards on first down, any coach will take that all night. And that's the formation that HFL's got to find an answer to, unless they're just going to need to. Otherwise, they're just going to need to outscore Batavia to win this game.
So keeping the 2 tight end formation, design quarterback run. This is Buchholz straight up ahead. I believe we've got a flag down. He had enough for the first down. We do have a flag in the area of potential holding. So this one might be coming back. We do have a hold, and it's against Batavia. So a costly penalty negates the first down quarterback run by Buchholz. It's a 10-yard spot foul.
And that is the 4th penalty on Batavia tonight. The first 3 were of the 5-yard variety. That 10-yard variety moves them back. They already had the first down. That was a downfield penalty. So it'll set up the rare 2nd and 7. Not that rare, actually.
Snap. Fake pitch. Buchholz to throw. Lofts it up. And incomplete.
Landon Hammond on the coverage. So Batavia mixed it up a little. Was trying to get Fortes in the flat. Good pressure by Cooper Levine. Good coverage by the Cougars. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, as you pointed out, Cooper Levine from the defensive end spot was able to put enough pressure there on Buchholz. He kind of had to adjust the arm angle. We hear it so much in the NFL about all the arm angles that the best quarterbacks can throw at, and Buchholz unable to get enough mustard on that one to be a completion.
Batavia still with a double tight end formation. I wouldn't be. They are going to throw short pass.
It's Cole Grazioplene. He's going to make the initial man miss, and then a gang of Cougars is going to tackle him. So he'll be short by about 4 yards of the first down.
Hammond came crashing in there and disrupted initially. Wanzenreid got a hand on Grazioplene, and then the rest of the defense rallied to the ball and was able to force Batavia into this 4th down situation. It looks like Fortes is dropping back to punt. But let's remember Buchholz is the up man.
It's not a punt until it's off somebody's foot. So as we approach the 4-minute mark, here's the punt is away. Was that blocked? Or was that just off the side of?
Conor Finn brought pressure from the edge. I didn't think that he got there. We'll take a closer look here.
Think that was just off the side of the foot.
So the HFL defense does its job. It gets off the field there and sets the Cougars up pretty nicely with 3:55 to go here in the 3rd.
And that penalty, the holding penalty against Batavia, was the drive killer there, right? They had the first down, negated that, and now it's the Cougars who are in Batavia territory at the Blue Devil 45-yard line. 2 running backs in the backfield. Here's the handoff to Donahoe. Donahoe powering ahead over the 40-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 6.
A little bit of hesitation there from Donahoe, too. Bought himself some time. Nice start on the play. The HFL run game has stalled a little bit here in the second half, but he got right behind Ben Cook there. Cook was engaged with the defender, and Donahoe followed him for a nice 6-yard gain.
Second and 4. Still 2 running backs in the backfield for the Cougars. And we have what appears to be neutral zone encroachment.
That should be a first down.
And waiting on the spot, and it is a first down. So a new set of downs for the Cougars. This first down brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. HFMP is proud to be a good neighbor to the HFL community for 40 years.
And that is the 3rd time that Batavia has jumped offside tonight. Each time the Cougars have gotten more than 5 yards out of it. It's really benefited them. It's been on scoring drives the first 2 times.
So 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Cook. And Cook dragging number 25 for the Blue Devils.
Lakota Mruzek mentioned him as the midseason call-up with 20 tackles in 4 games. So he's been a solid contributor on the Batavia defense. He was able to hold on and drag Cook down after a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 for HFL. They've kept it on the ground the last couple plays. We'll see if they do the same or maybe put the ball in the air. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. All tied up at 20. And here's the handoff to Cook. And Cook, again, just tough to bring down. Takes a couple defenders. Going to be 3rd and short for the Cougars.
Yeah, determined run by Cook, able to get through the first attempted tackle, fall forward to the 25, setting up 3rd and 1.
So 3rd and 1 for HFL. Break the huddle. Looks like it's going to be trips to the far side. Steinhoff is going to be all alone as we have an official timeout. Looks like we have a shoe being tied on the field.
That's Brian Calderon, one of the top linemen for Batavia, needing to get his footwear situated.
So Cougars get the go-ahead to run the play now. 3rd and 1. Bad snap. Meacham picks it up. Under duress. He's just going to run it.
Oh, my goodness. He got the first down.
And he ends up getting the first down. I believe there might have been a flag thrown, though. Nope, that's not a flag. That was the old fumble bag to denote where the ball was fumbled. So there's no flag. First down for the Cougars, brought to you by HFMP. Entertaining at your home, Honeoye Falls Marketplace is the exclusive purveyor of wholly sustained raised shrimp located in their frozen seafood department.
So when Meacham retrieved that ball, my initial thought was just to get rid of it and save the field position. But he, again, kept his head and made a great play to get down the sideline and convert that. 3 huge plays by him in the third quarter.
Meacham from the gun. Hands off to Cook. And Cook muffs the ball. And waiting on the call. Are they going to say that's a live football? And they are. So a turnover. Take another look. Handful of Batavia Blue Devils players were able to wrap up Ben Cook, and the ball squirted out there. So a
big play by the Batavia defense. Sheldon Cyberling, 75, was in the middle there. Kind of looked like the forward progress had been stopped and he was moving backwards, but the play was not blown dead. No whistle, play still alive.
So the Cougars were what appeared to be knocking on the doorstep of more points. And with a minute to go here in the third quarter, Batavia's offense back out on the field. Here's Buchholz, hands off Griffin. And Griffin going to be tackled forward by Harrison Houle.
And Peter, after a clean first half in terms of turnovers for HFL, that's 2 turnovers on 3 drives here in the third quarter. Both of them occurred in Batavia territory.
So with the clock running under a minute to go in the third quarter, Batavia will probably have to run at least one more play here before we go to the fourth. And Mekhi Fortes is now the back to Buchholz's left.
Griffin in the slot.
And the handoff goes to Fortes, and Fortes falling ahead for 3. It'll bring up 3rd and medium.
3rd and, 4 to 5. And that'll run out the time here in the third quarter, so Batavia will have some time to think about it, see what they come back with to start the fourth.
So we'll start the fourth quarter where we started the game, tied. We'll take a quick commercial timeout here from HFL.
Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Fresh breads, donuts, special cakes made every day from scratch. Our butcher still cuts your meats to order. Doesn't get any better than that. Hot pizza, fish fries on Friday. Order your favorite sub right here. Organic foods and healthy choices. Honeoye Falls Marketplace. We're true blue, local, uncompromised, quality close to home.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Alexander Enterprises. For nearly 30 years, Alexander Enterprises has been one of Rochester's most trusted contractors. They specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give Todd and the folks at Alexander Enterprises a call before you start your next project at 624-9120. Bullfinch Fund, fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right here. And Meehan Architecture with the Meehan Architecture HFL Sports Update. The Cougars girls swimming and diving team has been competing in the sectional meet that began on this past Wednesday and has been continuing as the week closes out. So good luck to the girls competing in that competition as we have 3rd and 4 for Batavia. And it looks like Zaylin Griffin has got enough for the first down.
I'm not sure, Peter. It looks like the 4th is up on the down marker. Looks like across the field they're going to mark him about a yard short. So a big call here for Coach Veltz and the Batavia coaching staff here. 1 play into the 4th quarter. Looks like they're bringing another lineman in, though, so I would anticipate them going for it here.
So we've seen Batavia on 4th and short convert it with a quarterback draw in the first half. Then we saw the handoff to Zaylin Griffin that went the distance for a touchdown. We'll see what the Blue Devils do here. It's the quarterback draw. And the spot looks favorable so far for the Blue Devils.
It's close, though. The linesman's running right down the line.
And they do motion for the first down. So a new set of downs for the Blue Devils.
So 3 huge 4th down conversions for the Blue Devils in this game. Going back to the first quarter, Coach Veltz sent in the message that they're gonna go for it. And seeing a new player in the Batavia huddle, number 36, Brock Bigsby. He just has been called up this year too, lining up at tight end. His father, Sean Bigsby, was on one of the first teams I covered, the 1991 Batavia team that won a state championship, Peter.
And here's the pitch play to Griffin, and he's going to be tackled after a pickup of about 5 yards. When we were doing our prep work and I saw the name Brock Bigsby, I just thought that screamed football guy.
Yeah. He actually has a twin brother who's got a knee injury, and they're both freshmen. They're going to be part of this Batavia program for the next several years. But, yeah, his father, Sean, played for Coach John Crite, was on some very good teams, and I believe played at Ithaca College as well.
So Carter got 6 yards there on the ground, or Griffin. Handoff goes back to Griffin, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield. Initially contacted there by Landon Hammond in the backfield. Coming up, or check that was Cooper Levine.
Levine got low and was able to upend Griffin in the backfield. He did sell out, and it was a diving attempt. Worked out that time. Batavia has been very good on these short to medium situations, just even if they're cutting the distance in half and going for it on 4th down.
And it seems like as this game has progressed, it's the Batavia offensive line that's been winning the point of attack.
More times than not, and they've been able to control the ball and the tempo.
Cougars go with 5 down linemen. Buchholz to throw. Lofts one up, and that's going to be way too far for either player, for HFL or Batavia, to make a play on it. He was pressured by Owen Englert.
And that tells you that Coach Veltz was going to go for this anyway. They went for the home run on the touchdown on 3rd and short. 4th down, I believe there will be no hesitation for the Blue Devils here near midfield. So another chance for the HFL defense to make a stand.
And this one is not the 4th and 1 that the Batavia Blue Devils have been able to convert. This is a little bit longer. We'll call it 4th and 3 from their own 45-yard line.
Empty backfield.
HFL playing not press coverage. Buchholz to throw. Screen play. Screen was taken away. He's able to eventually launch it and falls incomplete, looking in the direction of Cole Grazioplene.
So great answer there for HFL. The defensive lineman read that as a screen. Englert and Kurt and Cook dropped to cover Griffin. Buchholz forced to try and improvise. Nothing there. He went for Grazioplene, but now the HFL defense has made a stand, giving the Cougars the ball in Batavia territory at the 45 with 9 minutes to go.
And the story of the HFL offense in the second half has been turnovers on 2 of their 3 drives. That one other drive, of course, being a touchdown drive. We'll see what they can do here with great starting field position at the Batavia 45-yard line. Meacham from the shotgun. 2 running backs, 1 on each side. Hands off to Cook. Cook falls at the 40-yard line. That'll be a nice pickup of about 5 yards on first down.
And I like that HFL went right back to Cook. He's played a good game. Yes, he had a fumble on his last carry, but you got to let him know that you're going to need him tonight and you're confident in him.
So 2nd and 5. Cougars coming out. Again, it seems they've been rolling here as of late with 2 running backs in the backfield.
Yeah, Donahoe's given them a little bit of a change of pace tonight, which is nice.
Fresh legs as Cook motions out, and Donahoe is going to be dropped in the backfield, and he's going to lose about everything Cook picked up on first down.
Yeah, the Batavia line, as you mentioned, the Batavia offensive line had been winning more in the second half. Batavia defensive line won on that play. I believe it was Madden Legler that was breaking through and disrupting that play. Legler's number 72, and we've called Sheldon Seiverling's name a few times tonight. He's big number 75 right in the middle there.
Cougars 3rd and 10.
So this is Matt Meacham time to see if he can come through and make another one of those big plays.
And with 3rd and long, Cougars do not elect to bring another wide receiver on the field. They keep 2 running backs. Meacham to throw, rolls out to his left, lofts one up, looking for Steinhoff, and that's going to be caught by Alexander Steinhoff. Stole the ball right out of Carter Mullen for a first down. We got to take another look at that play.
Again, Matt Meacham buys time. He wanted Wanzenreid on the near side of the field. Steps back as the pressure comes, and then Steinhoff turns and sees the ball coming in, makes the adjustment on Mullen, and takes the ball away, giving the Cougars a first down right about the 10-yard line.
That first down brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. From sheet cakes to cookie cakes, the big shop at HFMP can custom decorate a delicious and beautiful cake for any occasion.
And, Peter, the down markers are down, so it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal for the Cougars. Here's the handoff to Donahoe, and Donahoe is hit ahead. It'll be about 5 yards as we have a late flag thrown in the neighborhood of some sort of personal foul penalty.
So we'll wait and see as the officials sort this out. Bob Blockhart's our referee, conferring with a couple of his crew members, but the HFL offense is walking backwards, Peter, to indicate this is against the Cougars.
Dead ball spot against HFL. So that is a monumental mistake by HFL.
So it's a spot foul, so the Cougars will have the ball at the 20-yard line. Let's see if it came after the play or it'll remain first down.
Looks like the far side official is holding up a 1, so the Cougars do retain the down. Nope, now they're motioning it should be 2nd down. Seems to be a little...
Yeah, you got the feeling that happened. Whatever happened after the play. So that was the Cougars had gained the yardage down to the 5, and the mark-off was going to count all the way against them.
So now it's 2nd and goal from the 20-yard line for HFL.
Maybe the screen?
Cook to Meacham's left, and it's a design quarterback run, and there's nothing there for Meacham. Gets just back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 20.
So 3rd and goal from the 20. A lot of times you would think that the Cougars would need to go get everything, but with the emergence of Matt Meacham as the kicker, cruising towards 6 minutes on the clock, sure, if you can get a touchdown, but we might be looking at maybe trying to get some distance here and give Meacham a more makeable field goal.
The only thing that, if I'm the coaching staff for HFL, there's been some questionable snaps.
The operation has not been clean.
Correct.
Great point.
Well, we'll see what they do here on 3rd and goal as Meacham looks to throw under pressure, has to step up, slings it over to Andrew Wanzenreid, and Wanzenreid is going to be well short of a touchdown. He gains maybe 6 yards. So the Cougars will bring on the field goal unit.
Meacham did a good job extending the play with his legs. There wasn't much downfield. Gets to the 14-yard line. We'll be looking at the block down at the 22, 32-yard try.
And this is from the right hash mark. This will be a 32-yard field goal for Matt Meacham. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is blocked. The kick is no good. No, they're saying it's a live football now. There's some confusion as to what's going on. The HFL sideline seems to think that they have the ball.
And they do. And they do.
Wow.
I thought Batavia covered it, and it was
So
a dead play.
Picked up, and then he tosses it to the official.
Okay.
And that's now a live football. And it looks like Keaton Yates is there. I don't know who's on the bottom of the pile. Maybe Ben Cook for HFL recovers.
So great awareness by the Cougars right there. The Batavia player, I'm sure, thought the play was over. And HFL catches a huge break here with just under 5 minutes to play. Thank goodness we had the replay. That really helped explain it for us.
And it's not Thanksgiving in Dallas.
No, Leon Lett is not in the house.
So 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Ball at the 15-yard line as head coach Alex Veltz for Batavia talking to the head official. He's going to want an explanation on that one.
Because it obviously the Batavia player felt that he had given himself up and was tossing the ball. The official, that's not how the rule was interpreted.
Was he on the ground? Did he have a knee or?
I never saw it go to the ground. Maybe we can watch it one more time when we get a chance here. Obviously, we don't want to see it now as the Cougars have first down at the 14.
So HFL, 6-down lineman. Conor Finn checks in for the Cougars. He'll get the carry. Finn gets up to the 10-yard line.
Great second effort there by Finn.
Can we take another look at that block kick maybe? See if we can fit it in. So,
Yep.
44 for Batavia. Just kind of tosses the ball in the direction of the referee. Never gave himself up.
And the HFL players, to their credit, they knew the rule. They were immediately signaling our ball, our ball.
2nd and 6 for the Cougars. Here's a snap. Handoff to Finn. Finn to about the 5.
So going to be 3rd and short. Cougars have used all 3 running backs tonight with Donahoe, Cook, and Finn. Finn just unable to keep his balance after breaking that tackle. 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1, we'll see what HFL elects to do. Quarterback sneak, go under center, something they don't do too often. But instead they go from the shotgun. That's where they're comfortable.
Absolutely. You can't change now. Do what you do the best.
Here's the handoff to Finn, and he falls on the far side of the 5, waiting on the spot. It's going to be real close.
It is going to be a tough call, too, because Finn kind of fell backwards. He wasn't facing the end zone.
And they don't even...
But he fell in the right direction if you're a Cougar fan.
They don't even measure. 1st down, 1st and goal for the Cougars. Brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. If you're longing for the brands you grew up with, then look no further than Honeoye Falls Marketplace.
And, Peter, the clock is starting to become a factor here. By the time the Cougars snap this ball, it'll be about 3 minutes left in the game. If they're able to score a touchdown, that's going to put Batavia in hurry-up mode.
1st and goal. HFL from the 4. Meacham in the gun. Donahoe to his right. Finn to his left. Cougars taking their time. Donahoe motions to the up back position. Handoff goes to Finn. And Finn's going to be into the end zone. And the Cougars take the lead. Conor Finn finding the Meehan Architecture end zone with 2:47 to go in the 4th quarter. He was our defensive player to the watch. But on offense there, he breaks the tie in the late stages of the fourth quarter.
And as you mentioned, the HFL operation on the PAT has not been clean tonight. Critical extra point here.
So here's the point after attempt. The field goal attempt was blocked before. Kicks up. And kick is no good. So it's a 6-point game. And we'll take another look.
The fourth down stop on the screen pass by the HFL defense. Pressure by Austin Krigo. Buchholz throws it away. That gave the Cougars possession in Batavia territory. Meacham with a great pass. Steinhoff here able to get behind the Batavia defense. They lose him in coverage, and then he adjusts to the ball to give the Cougars first and goal at the 10. And here's the play that people are going to be talking about for a long time. The blocked field goal attempt recovered by Maggio Buchholz. Tosses the ball into the middle of the field. I think some of his teammates realized right away that it was a live ball, and the Cougars were fortunate to be on the bottom of the pile, give themselves a fresh set of downs at about the 14-yard line.
And then here was the touchdown by Finn. Gives the Cougars a 6-point lead. Point after attempt, no good. Upcoming kickoff brought to you by Alexander Enterprises, who specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120. And as time does become a factor, both teams with all 3 timeouts. As here's the kick. High end-over-end kick.
Takes a funny bounce.
That's a live football. Going to be it's going to be fielded by Batavia. And they're going to end up with decent starting field position out towards the 35-yard line.
The ball bounced away from Griffin. He caught it on the second hop at about the 20, and then he was dangerous. That was saved a lot of yardage on that tackle by HFL because Griffin had a lot of room in front of him. So Batavia starts at its own 37 with 2:42 to play. And would we expect anything different late in the game? One possession game. Batavia with the football. Chance to tie, take the lead. HFL defense, chance to make a stand, close things out.
Who's going to make the play here? That sets one of these two teams up with a trip to the championship game. Quarterback keep. Buchholz still on his feet. And he's going to be tackled at about the 41-yard line.
Tough run by Buchholz. Fakes the handoff to Griffin, runs into the pile at the 40. Landon Hammond comes in and then takes 2 more tacklers to finish off Buchholz.
So clock running as we approach the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Batavia breaks the huddle. 2nd and 6.
And Griffin has such big playability, Peter. You don't have to go away from the run. He can make things happen quickly with his legs.
Here's the snap. Handoff to Griffin. Griffin is stood up by Houle. And
that play is blown dead. The umpire is calling for the football in the middle of the field. But as we've just seen, you've got to play everything out.
Yeah, at this rate, both these teams going to be playing through the whistle.
Yeah, the ball came out very late there. You can see the umpire decisively calling for the ball, setting up the 3rd down.
3rd and 4. Batavia under 90 seconds. Clock running. Crowd trying to get loud here. Buchholz the pass. Throws over the middle of the field. And incomplete. There was a couple of players there from both teams. It looks like Paul Iacobucci was maybe the closest to making a play on the ball.
Looked like 4 vertical routes there. So Batavia sent all the players down the field, and HFL had good coverage there. Ball's overthrown. Another big 4th down. But
4th and 4, and with...
regardless of what happens on this play, this game's not over because both teams with the full complement of timeouts. So it's a big play, but there are more plays to follow.
So Batavia with not quite their season on the line yet. We'll see if they can convert here. Buchholz to throw. throws it high, and incomplete. Incomplete. Cougars turnover on downs. Looking in the direction of Zaylin Griffin, had him. He had about 4 yards of separation. If he had hauled that one in, that would have been a first down for Batavia and maybe more.
But credit the Cougar defense with applying the pressure that disrupted that play. As Batavia had success early in the game, we anticipated that when the big plays would come later, HFL would turn up the heat. Both Cooper Levine was in there, and I believe Steinhoff forced the early throw. Now the Cougars need to take care of the ball. 1 first down will do it.
So Batavia will have 3 chances to stop the clock. HFL hands off. This is Harrison Houle. Makes a man miss. It's going to be a race. And he's going to be tackled inside the 10-yard line. Cole Grazioplene coming with the arm bar to try and produce a fumble. It's going to be first and goal for HFL with a minute to go.
And that might be the game sealer, and I believe that's Houle's first carry of the night, and it was a big one.
We talked about it coming into the second half. We said, who's going to make a play to set one of these two teams up for a trip to the sectional championship? It seemed like it was Zaylin Griffin maybe who had made the play with the big 4th down touchdown run, and then it was the Cougars later. And now it seems like it's Harrison Houle setting up the Cougars with a first and goal with a minute to go. Batavia takes their first timeout, brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund, invest right here.
So that play only took 9 seconds, Peter. So doing the math, the Cougars might not be able to totally run out the clock. You get 2 plays that take 4 seconds to get you to third down. They will, if they don't score here, I think they would have to snap the ball on 4th down.
And just play keep away. 1st and 10. Conor Finn shifts to the up back. Here's the handoff. Donahoe immediately met in the backfield, and Batavia able to take their timeout. We'll see when the clock stops. So the clock is shown 54 seconds. Timeout taken by Batavia, their second. This timeout brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund, invest right here.
Deshaun Wright with a nice play for Batavia there in the backfield right away, able to disrupt that, take the ball carrier down, and keep Batavia in it for the time being.
Batavia still has 1 timeout left. Here's that play by Houle. Cole Grazioplene with the touchdown saving tackle for the Blue Devils.
And if Houle scores there, this game is, for all intents and purposes, over. So at least it gave Batavia a chance to figure something out here in the end. It looks improbable, but the Blue Devils still have a chance. They've won games in improbable fashion before, including the sectional final last year on the last play of the game.
2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. Patrick Donahoe, the back in the backfield. He gets the handoff, and he's going to be met in the backfield yet again. So this will be another loss of 1, and clock is immediately stopped at 49 seconds. It'll be 3rd and probably 11.
So under 10 seconds, HFL will need to snap the ball if they don't score on this play.
This timeout brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right. Invest right here.
Treated to another classic tonight, weren't we?
You know, every time these two teams face off, they're billed as going to be classics. And it seems like so often those fail to deliver, but somehow this rivalry always consistently delivers us a good one.
Yep. You know, here we are under a minute, heading toward the south end zone is HFL. 3rd and goal. Touchdown on one of the next two plays would lock it up. I think the bigger concern is just to keep the ball away from Batavia.
So 3rd and goal for HFL. 49 seconds to go. Here's the handoff to Donahoe, straight ahead. Donahoe is going to get to about the 8-yard line.
Play stopped with 40 seconds left. The clock stopped.
Clock stops. Is there a...
Now they're winding the clock. So this will be interesting to see.
4th and goal for the Cougars. Our clock on screen is unofficial. The one here at the stadium reads 25 seconds right now, so we're a couple seconds ahead.
And I wonder why the clock stopped initially, but the referees started it back up, and then the play clock would have started when that started. So I don't know if HFL can go all the way to 0, but I think they go as low as they can, take the delay, and then see where they are. Or
at least use one of their timeouts. They're not going to be able to bring them with them.
So 3 seconds left, they take a timeout.
So HFL, I expect, will just kind of play keep away. Just kind of run backwards.
Let Matt Meacham take a couple steps backwards and throw the ball high into the air and make sure it doesn't come down until there's 3 zeros on the clock.
This timeout brought to you by Bullfinch Fund. Fans who are sitting on IRA money that they don't know what to do with, or those who want to take control of their 401k money left at an old employer, should give Bullfinch a call at 624-3150. Did you know a working teenager can become a retirement millionaire just by starting a child IRA? Want to learn more? Call your local mutual fund, the Bullfinch Fund, at 624-3150. Bullfinch Fund. Invest right. Invest right here. So HFL will probably... We'll see if they go with Meacham or if there's maybe someone... I don't know if there's anyone you feel more comfortable.
No, you don't want the ball in anybody else's hands other than number 6. He's had a good game tonight. He's made big plays at the right time whenever you needed him to. And basically, you know, I would be shocked if he does anything other than run backward and throw the ball high into the air just to make sure the clock runs.
Seems to be a little bit of...
They got Finn and Donahoe back in case the snap is off.
So here's the snap. Meacham to roll out and just takes a knee, and that's the final. HFL 26, Batavia 20.
And again, the awareness by Meacham. He didn't take the knee until he looked up at the clock and saw 3 zeros. HFL is moving on to the Section 5 championship game after another hard-fought game with Batavia.
And we came into this game wondering, you know, if the team that won the regular season game was going to be able to win the playoff game. And HFL knocks Batavia off twice at home. As you mentioned, they move on to the semifinal or to the championship game at SUNY Brockport next weekend. Before we sign off, we'll take a quick look at the highlights.
And there are a lot of them. And in this game, as you said, Peter, again, lives up to the anticipation and the hype. First touchdown of the game scored by Batavia's Zaylin Griffin on the first drive of the game, an 11-yard run.
And then it was Ben Cook answering the Griffin touchdown. Cougars take the lead 7-6.
HFL, this is Landon Hammond after a shoulder fake by Matt Meacham. Gets behind the Batavia defense, 26-yard touchdown. Cougars go in front 13-7 halfway through the second quarter.
And then Zaylin Griffin found the end zone again to tie us up at 13.
That came with 3:27 left in the half, and then Griffin with 8:51 left in the third quarter, 4th and 1, 54-yard sprint to the end zone to put Batavia in front 20-13.
And then Matt Meacham found Nolan Yates out from 16 for the score.
Keaton Yates. You got Nolan Yates. Big play, right?
We were talking about him earlier, and
Yep, the brain freeze, but big play night for the Yates brothers. Here's Meacham going deep to Steinhoff to extend a drive for the Cougars in the fourth quarter. And the real play of this game is going to be the blocked field goal attempt. But here's Conor Finn with the go-ahead touchdown with 2:47 to play. So that was one of the stranger plays. You'll see HFL was going for a 32-yard field goal. It was blocked by Batavia. Batavia player recovered it behind in front of the line of scrimmage. Went and tossed the ball to the official. Still a live ball. HFL recovered it, setting up the second opportunity and Finn's touchdown.
So the final 26-20. Before we sign off, we want to thank tonight's crew on camera: Chris Carosa, operating graphics, Kyle Chaparino, an instant replay operator, Oliver Hansen. We want to take a special thank you to all of our sponsors this season who make these broadcasts possible. We want to thank Section 5 for giving us the opportunity to broadcast on their Section 5 broadcast network. We want to thank all the viewers from tonight and all season long who tune in. We love covering high school football. We love featuring these high school athletes, and we're just glad that to be here and to be treated with just such a great game to end our broadcast schedule.
So much fun, and Brian Donahue and the staff here at HFL always make us feel welcome. And you know the Meehan family with the halftime refreshments. It's been a lot of fun, and 4 years for us in the books, Peter. It seems like just a day or two ago where we started out.
So thanks so much for tuning in to the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinels special presentation of Section 5 football on the Section 5 Broadcast Network. Until next season, I'm Peter Carosa, joined alongside Steve Bradley. Thanks so much. Good night, folks.